صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على الحبيب المصطفى أبي القاسم محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد. وأما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وفرقانه الحميد وهو أصدق القائلين: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. من المؤمنين رجال صدقوا ما عاهدوا الله عليه، فمنهم من قضى نحبه ومنهم من ينتظر وما بدلوا تبديلا. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Respected scholars, my elders, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Just very quickly summarizing our journey over the last 8 nights, where we are trying to examine the right of the sacrifice of Karbala on me as an individual. And we started by identifying why did this battle take place, the battle on the day of Ashura. And we established that in the divine words of Imam, and the eternal words of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam himself, when he said, "Takhasamna fillah," the battle was with regards to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We said Allah is the truthful, and they said there is no such thing as Allah. This whole thing is a game. And nowhere do we see more of a manifestation of what their beliefs were, except in the words of Umar ibn Sa'd on the night that he was given the option to go and kill Imam al-Hussein or not kill Imam al-Hussein, where he said, they say that there is a hereafter and a day of judgment and hell and paradise. And nowhere else do we see a greater manifestation of that than in the words of Yazid himself, when the head of Imam al-Hussein was brought to him, and he said, this is all a game. Banu Hashim played on the hearts and minds of the people. So, the essence behind the battle of Karbala was to establish the oneness and the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ahl al-Bayt said, Sadaqallah. The other camp said, Kadiballah, according to the words of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Then we noticed that a ferocious battle took place. Such viciousness that even the small children were not spared. Why? Why was that? And the answer comes because of the hatred towards the message that was delivered on the day of Ghadir. And nowhere do we see a greater manifestation of that than when Imam al-Hussein stood on the day of Ashura and he asked them, why are you killing me? Have I killed any of you wrongly? Have I usurped the rights of any of you? Have I done anything wrong or said anything wrong to any of you? When they replied, بُغْضًا لِأَبِيكَ عَلِيِّ ibn Abi Talib, no, we are fighting you, we are killing you in hatred of Ali ibn Abi Talib, that Ali whose wilaya was the completion of the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And with that delivery of the wilaya, the religion of Islam was sealed according to the verse of Ghadir. Now when Imam heard this, he pulled his sword and he fought, establishing that no, I will give my life, but I will protect the Islam that was sealed on the day of Ghadir. I will protect the wilaya of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. And from here we find an intertwined relationship between Karbala and Ghadir, where we establish that when Imam Zamana reappears, his mission will be to bring back, to resurrect that Islam which had been buried by the Muslims, the Islam that was sealed in Ghadir, and to seek justice for the innocent blood that was shed in Karbala. We then established that Ghadir, the wilaya of Ghadir, requires a little bit of our attention. Because if it is the fortress which is holding Islam, which is protecting Islam, then we will find that naturally there will be many people who will try and enter this fortress. And we said that the message of Ghadir, the wilaya of Muhammad and Al Muhammad, is facing a double-edged sword. On the one hand, we find an open enemy who for centuries has killed the lovers of Muhammad and Al Muhammad, has usurped their rights, has oppressed them, suppressed them, has done everything in his power to try and suppress this message of Muhammad and Al Muhammad, the love of Ali, the love of Hussein. But we established that they have been so unsuccessful Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taken charge of the protection and the continuity of the message of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. And that flag which they are trying to bring down will only continue rising. And we see that we do not need to prove this to anybody. The manifestations are in the numbers, from 6 to 350 million, and at a very conservative estimate. But the other side of the sword, which is a more dangerous enemy to us, because when somebody comes to you in front of you with a gun or with a sword, openly declaring his animosity towards you, it's easy to protect oneself and one's family from that enemy. But the enemy within is the more dangerous enemy. This is a cancerous cell that spreads in such a way that we sometimes are not able to realize. And here we established various deviations that have taken place in an attempt to try and dilute that love and that wilayah of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. Where we said that the true manifestation of the wilayah of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad needs to happen at their terms and conditions, not my terms and conditions. That if I say I love Ali ibn Abi Talib, I need to love him with his terms and conditions, not my terms and conditions. We establish that if we love anyone in this world, we try and do everything that pleases that person, and we refrain from those things that displeases that individual. We then said that we have a double-edged responsibility towards this wilayah of Ali ibn Abi Talib, to preserve this wilayah within our hearts with its true essence. What is that? Number one, we need to be observant. We need to be alert and against these deviations that take place, because deviations of somebody who wants to come and dilute the message of Imam al-Hussein, dilute the message of Amir al-Mu'mineen, will not come and tell you turn 180 degrees. No, these deviations happen very subtly, very small scale, at very minute levels, but we need to develop a foresight to see what this person is trying to say to me. Where is this leading to? And if we lack the foresight, then we need to follow the foresight of those who have been appointed as the guardians over us by the Imam of the time. Now, coincidentally, the one single enemy, there is a line that is standing between deviation and the true wilayah of Ali ibn Abi Talib. And that is the line of the ulama, the mujtahideen. So wherever you see attacks against the ulama, attacks against the mujtahideen, even if it's from these members, then understand that they are not on the same side. We need to develop that foresight. Now, I'm not saying every alim, and there are no issues amongst our ulama, and there are some people who are right, some people who are wrong, but the essence of the ulama, there is an etiquette, there is a way, there is a method with which you can challenge, you can question, go and follow the correct methodology of challenging someone. There is no need to discredit the single line of defense that is standing between the people who are trying to attack Ahl al-Bayt alayhimus salam and us, except for that line of defense that is of our ulama. The second level of responsibility that falls upon our shoulders. So on the one hand, we have to be alert, we have to be observant, we have to have a foresight to see where some of these deviations and changes are taking us towards. On the other hand, we have to be careful with regards to our own actions and our own deeds. Let us not become heedless like shaitan, where we now enter into a world of ujub, where we become so impressed with what we possess. This love of Ahl al-Bayt is that great, is that divine mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My salah, my presence in the majlis of Ahl al-Bayt, my recitation of eulogy for Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Let us not become overconfident and overvalue these actions to the point where we become arrogant and miss the turn, like Iblis did at the time of the test. And so we have this dual level of responsibility on our shoulders. When we come and see the essence behind the love of Ahl al-Bayt and the benefits that we derive from the Ahl al-Bayt, the point that I was trying to make yesterday was that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us free of charge this gift, this blessing of the Ahl al-Bayt alayhimus salam and their love. When now He is just looking for an excuse. Looking for an excuse, the smallest action that you do in their love, the smallest letter of eulogy you recite in their love, the smallest, you join in the procession of Imam al-Hussein in their love. Allah says, now these insignificant and minute actions in your eyes are no longer small. Once they have been attached with Hussein ibn Ali, now there are mountains of grandeur in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now there are mountains of blessings in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's looking for an excuse. Shed a tear, Allah will forgive so many years of sins. Say, Ya Hussein, Allah is willing to forgive so many years of our sins. Do this, Allah will give you this reward. It is as if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is paving the path for me, that even accidentally do something for the sake of Hussein ibn Ali or the Ahl al-Bayt, provided it is in their love and not for self-gratification and to please others in my community. No, provided it is wholeheartedly and sincerely for Hussein ibn Ali, Allah says, then the rewards are unimaginable. My Lord, why? Why, O Allah? Allah will say, because I love you, Hassanain. I want you, I'm finding an excuse to grab you into paradise. But no, Hassanain, you have found the path. You have found this fire of love for Hussein in your heart. Don't keep it to yourself. My paradise is not limited just for you. It's not a small place. I want you to come. I want you to bring your family and friends. I want you to even bring Tom and Jack and Nathan and Becky and this, that and the other. Bring the whole world to paradise with you. Don't reserve Hussein for yourself. Don't reserve this love for the Ahl al-Bayt just for yourself. And from here we began the journey. Now I want to establish my relationship with Imam al-Hussein. Where does that relationship begin? When I opened my eyes and I saw that the first contact with Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam after the love of my parents was in these majalis. Was these gatherings from as long as I can remember. I have only known Imam al-Hussein from these majalis. So now I need to begin the journey towards realizing the right of the sacrifice of Imam al-Hussein on my shoulders. I asked myself the question, why am I here? What is the reason that I sit in these pulpits? This is the journey that we have been taking over the last few nights. Once I have established that my purpose of being here is sincere, now I come across the question, what is the purpose behind this pulpit? What is the purpose behind this majlis, behind this message that is being delivered to me? And we established a few nights ago that the goal, the purpose behind the majalis of Imam al-Hussein is to induce change within me as an individual at the first level. For me then to take that change and apply it and help change my close family, my loved ones around me. Then I need to extrapolate that change to my community. And once I have been successful in inducing that change in my community, my global role begins, where I now join the mission of the Imam of my time. But it starts with me. We said then, okay, on reflection, I have been coming to the majalis of Imam al-Hussein for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years of my life. Yet, when I reflect on myself and on my community, I see that there is no significant improvement. There are no leaps forward. In 50 years, I do not see progress in my community, in me as an individual. Rather, I see us regressing or remaining stale. The question is why? Where have we gone wrong? And the answer that we came up with, one of the answers could be that maybe we do not want to change. Yes? We do not want to change. We are happy with the status quo. And we have become experts at a game that we don't even know. And I think we should implement that as the youth, because we would be naturals at it. And that is dodgeball. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala threw a ball at me. And I'm running away from that ball. And as the faster I'm running, the faster the ball is running behind me. And I'm finding ways of dodging that ball. I want to change, but it's my wife, The wife says, I want to change, but it's my in-laws. I want to change, but my community is so backwards, honestly. I want to change, but it's my job. And the classic one, I want to change, but I do not have the knowledge. I want more knowledge. So we chuck the ball back at the person sitting here. Give me more knowledge. So much knowledge that I have an overload of knowledge. I asked you, if a man came to one of the Ma'sumeen alayhi salam and he says, teach me a new type of knowledge, teach me more knowledge. Imam said to him, or it could be Rasulullah, he said to him, وَيْحَكْ وَمَاذَا فَعَلْتَ بِرَأْسِ الْعِلْمِ, and what have you done with the essence of knowledge? Remember the answer of Shaykh Bahjat to his students? Apply the little that you know, and then Allah will open the doors in front of you. If knowledge was our problem, then I ask you by Allah, in existence right now, there exists a creature, if you discount the Ma'sumeen alayhim salam and the prophets of Allah who are in occultation, after those holy personalities, amongst the living beings on the earth, there exists an individual who holds the most amount of knowledge. And here, unfortunately, the English language translates knowledge as ilm and information as ilm as well. But in Arabic language, there's a differentiation. Ilm is something and ma'lumat is something else. Books, lectures, YouTube, internet articles give us ma'lumat, give us information. That only translates into knowledge, into ilm, at implementation. So, but for the purposes of this lecture, when we say knowledge, we are using the general terminology. There is one person who is more knowledgeable than Ayatullah Sistani. There is one person who is more knowledgeable than Ayatullah Khamenei, than Ayatullah Bashir al-Najafi. Then Ayatullah, he's more learned than Ayatullah Wahid al-Khurasani. Learned is probably the better word to use. He is more learned than anybody else you can think of. Who is that person? Who is that person? Iblis. Shaitan has millenniums of knowledge with him. The teacher of the angels. But has that knowledge been of any use to him? Therefore, knowledge is not our problem. The problem lies somewhere else. I am trying to dodge this ball left, right and center. Yet I find that this ball is coming at me. And one day this ball will catch up with me. There is no escaping from this ball. And the ball will catch up with me at the cry or at the call of two personalities, no third. It will either be the call of Jibreel alayhi salam saying, your Imam has reappeared, go and join him. Or it will be the call of Malakul Maut saying, time's up Hassanain, let's go back. But the end result for both would be one and the same. Now, when we said that there is a problem with regards to the implementation, the majlis was supposed to change me. I am not changing. Where is the problem? We said, let us examine what type of people possibly come to the majalis of Imam al-Hussein. And we identified 4 categories. And I think we will only have time over the next few nights to examine the final category which we presented, which holds the most idealistic vision, which holds an inspirational vision which each and every one of us should aspire towards. And this is as far as our journey came, the night up until yesterday. Now, what is this category of people that we all must aspire towards? The category of these people say that I will come to the majalis of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam as a sign of paying my respects, to give my condolences to Fatima al-Zahra alayhi salam, as a sign of a humble servant, an insignificant servant, as a sign of gratitude towards his Mawla. I will come and I want to take some of the blessings, the dua of Fatima al-Zahra with me. One reason. The other reason I will do, what else I will do for the sake of Imam al-Hussein and for the sake of this great sacrifice and this great message, is that I will contribute from what I own, my time, my wealth, my health, whatever I can give, possibly I will give in the way of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Thirdly, and most noble of all, is I will come and whatever the speaker says, I will try and take a small word and I will go and try and implement that word in my life. Some learning, I will try and take some learnings away and I will try and implement the learnings of the Ahl al-Bayt in my life so that I can better myself. And fourthly, I will try and transcend and prepare myself in the way that the people who presented their sacrifice in Karbala did. I will try and I will endeavor to become Habib. I will try and I will endeavor to become Hur, or like Hur, or close to Hur as I can. Is this not what we say in Ziyarat Warith? Now, when this is my vision, when the vision is that I need to become amongst like those who offered their sacrifice, who are ready to offer their sacrifice for Imam al-Hussein, I am presented in front of 2 phenomena. 2 words, 2 lines that I see that I'm persistently uttering Yet I feel that there is one of them lacks connection in my heart and the other one is not manifesting. What are those two statements that are regularly mentioned on a daily basis, if not at a weekly basis? The first statement is in Ziyarat Waritha. بِأَبِي أَنْتُمْ وَأُمِّي. May my father and my mother be ransomed for you, O Imam, O martyrs of Karbala. I wish I was with you. I would have offered my sacrifice for you and I would have enjoyed in this eternal bliss. I feel that I'm not connecting with this statement. The other statement that I seem to be uttering on a daily basis is Allahumma kulli waliyyika al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan al-Ajal, O Imam Zamana, reappear. It's not manifesting. Nothing is happening. Now I'm presented with another problem. How, when looking at Karbala, how can I make sense of what is happening here? To understand this, let us roll the clock back 14 centuries to the 28th day of Rajab, year 60 Hijrah. Imam alayhi salam, the letter comes to Walid. Walid presents the request of Yazid to Imam. Imam has a choice. Imam can give bay'ah. By giving bay'ah, he knows he will be selling his soul to oppression, to repression, to corruption, to adultery, to gambling. Imam said, no. Mithli la yubayi'u mithla. Imam said, I will never do that. Rather, I will stand against this. I will stand against this form of Islam that have started to appear in front of the world. Now, as I'm narrating Imam's story, I want you to try and put two and two together because my time is almost running out and I will not be able to extrapolate the meaning. I want you to start seeing similarities between the movement of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam and the mission of Imam al-Zamana alayhi salam, our Imam. Now, Imam Hujjatullah on earth has stood against oppression, repression, injustice, tyranny. What would Imam al-Zamana stand against? Is it not the same thing? Oppression, tyranny, repression, injustice. So now the world began listening. The message infiltrated to Kufa, to Basra, to Yemen, to different parts of Hijaz that the son of Rasulullah, Hujjatullah on earth, is standing against oppression and tyranny. What a valiant cause. I want you to start imagining us in that position because this is also applicable to us with regards to Imam al-Zamana alayhi salam. All of a sudden, Imam began hearing words of encouragement from people. Yes, you are doing a valiant thing. Letters started appearing in sacks. So many letters came to Imam alayhi salam, 18,000 according to some traditions. That Imam on the day of Ashura tells one of his companions or his servants, bring the sacks. And 2 or 3 sacks of letters were filled and they were brought. Imam said, "Oh Fulan, oh Fulan, oh Fulan, did you not write to me and invite me? Are these not your words?" They said, "No, we didn't." The letters are there in black and white. The first wave of letters comes to Imam. They say, "Oh Imam, come to us, for you have a ready-made army at your disposal. Oh Imam, come to us. We are willing to offer you all kind of support, oh Imam. Oh Imam, come, come." The second wave of letters come. I ask you, this invitation and rejoicing in the Imam's valiant cause, is this not noble by those people who wrote the letters? It's a noble act. The Kufans wrote to Imam saying, "Imam, you are doing something great. We want you to come and join. We want to join you. Come and lead us. Come, we are prepared. We are ready for you." It's a valiant thing to say. It's a noble thing to say. The next wave of letters came, even more noble than that. "Oh Imam, why are you delaying in coming? Come to us. Oh Imam, we are ready to offer you everything that we own, our lives, our wealth, our children. Oh Imam, we will protect you with everything that we have." Even more valiant. The third wave of letters comes, even more valiant and more noble in words. "Oh Imam, by Allah, we will protect you and we will engulf you in such a way that not a stone will harm you, no injury will come upon you. We will die before anybody ever can inflict anything on you." Are these not my words and your words to Imam alayhi salam? Al-Ajal, Al-Ajal, oh Imam, come. Kufans are saying, come. Imam sends a messenger of his. Who does he send? Muslim ibn Aqil. Now, just in a few words that I want to mention about Muslim, I'm going to ask you a question at the end of this in terms of classification. I want you to classify in just very quickly, very randomly, where you rank Muslim ibn Aqil after the way Imam introduces him. In the letter, Imam introduces Muslim ibn Aqil as who? as akhi, wa ibn ammi, wa thiqati min ahli. O people of Kufa, I am sending you that person who is my brother. If Imam Ma'soom, the custodian of وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى, says to somebody, you are my brother, where do you rank that individual in the lines of belief? Away from the Ahl al-Bayt. Where do you rank that individual with regards to the level of belief that he must hold? And he is my cousin, and وَثِقَتِي مِنْ أَهْلِ, and the most trusted one amongst my Ahl al-Bayt. Where would you rank? Out of 10, Muslim ibn Aqil, I would say 9 or 10 at least. So he is the creme de la creme according to Imam alayhi salam, the best of the best. And according to the best believers, Amirul Mu'mineen says, Al-Mu'minu fatinun. The believer is a clever being. He does not get deceived very easily. That Muslim comes in front of the Kufans. When he comes within days, 12, 18, 20,000 people put their hands into the hand of Muslim ibn Aqil, giving bay'ah to Imam al-Husayn alayhi salam. We are giving you bay'ah in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and keeping Rasulullah as our witness, that we will give our life, our health, our wealth, our families, our properties to protect you, O Husayn ibn Ali. We will not divert away from an instruction that you give us. This was the bay'ah, and they showered their benevolence on Muslim ibn Aqil. When Muslims saw that these people are so sincere, Muslim who is at that level of sincerity he is also baffled by the words of the Kufans, that he writes a letter to Imam alayhi salam. He writes, "O Imam, come quickly, for you have a ready-made army who are sincere, and they are willing to sacrifice themselves for you before any harm comes on you." That Muslim ibn Aqil, when he stands for Salah, when Ibn Ziyad enters Kufa, the time came when Muslim ibn Aqil stood for Salat al-Maghrib. Behind him were 12,000 supporters who had given that level of bay'ah to the Imam of the time. Something that even you and I have not done yet. Maghrib finished, Muslim turns around, there are 4 people left. Isha finishes, there are 1 or 2 people left. By the time Muslim sets foot outside of the mosque, there is nobody left. 5 minutes, how long does Salat al-Maghrib take? What happened in 5 minutes? The 12,000, 18,000, 20,000 who had offered such noble words, showed such sincerity to Imam alayhi salam, left Muslim ibn Aqil. This is why Muslim was crying in the courtyard of Ibn Ziyad. Not because of his life, but because he says, I wrote to my Mawla. I said to him, come. Now, how can I am the one who's bringing him into the hands of these most treacherous of people? Now I want to offer you another story. This was the state of the Kufans. They called Imam Al-Ajal, 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 O Imam. Hasten your reappearance. Come back, O Imam. We are ready for you. We are ready for you. When the time came, 5 minutes it took. They all disappeared. Sayyid Mahdi Bahrul Ulum. We mentioned one of the stories yesterday, very briefly. Became a time when Sayyid Mahdi became disheartened with the way, the state of affairs in his city or in his town or in his country, Iraq. He used to live in Hilla. When he saw that the oppression is so much on the Shi'as of the Ahl al-Bayt, and the suppression is so much, yet there are so many great ulama and believers in the city of Hilla, the center point of our ulama, in their thousands, and after Salah they would recite, Allahumma kulli waliyyika al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan. He said, why is Imam not appearing? And so he decided to do some a'mal to ask Imam himself. Outside of the city of Hilla, crying profusely, he is calling Imam alayhi salam. Imam appears in front of him. And he had met Imam a few times. Imam appears in front of him. Oh Sayyid Mahdi, why are you crying? Sayyid Mahdi said, Imam, has the time not come for you to reappear, to help your supporters, the ones who love you? Imam said, my supporters are not ready for me, Sayyid Mahdi. He says, Imam, what I am telling you, I live in Hilla. There are thousands, tens of thousands of learned, believing people who would happily give their lives for you, O Imam. Imam said, do you really think so? Imam said, I tell you what, on Thursday night, let us hold a meeting in your house. I will come personally, and I want you to go and hand select the 40 best of the best of the best of the believers of Hilla that you can think of. Include in those 40 yourself and Fulan butcher. And tell that butcher to bring 2 goats with him and place them on the ceiling of your house. Houses in those days used to have open ceilings. And there used to be one level and then an open ceiling. And so Sayyid Mahdi is happy. Imam said to him, I promise you, if I can see that these 40 people are sincere, then I will announce the beginning of my mission. I will pray to Allah to allow me to begin my mission. Remember this number 40. Remember Amir al-Mu'mineen? 40 believers failed to support him. 40 believers were lacking to support any of our Imams. Imam al-Hasan did sulh with Muawiyah because there were not even 40 people to support him. Every Imam was martyred because the 40 people did not exist, truly willing to support Imam alayhi salam. Imam al-Mahdi says, if I can establish that these 40 are sincere, then I will announce my reappearance. But Sayyid Mahdi goes, he starts inviting people, oh come, Brother Muhammad, Brother Ali, Brother Hassan, Imam al-Mahdi wants to see you, there's a meeting. Everybody became happy. Yes, I'm going to meet Imam of my time. They all come. Thursday night comes, and they all sitting there congratulating each other. MashaAllah, you are the chosen one. Imam wants to see you. You have been selected out of the 40 best. You must be, MashaAllah, at a very high level. So they noticed some light appearing from the stairs, which led to the ceiling or to the roof of the house. A light appeared. They all understood that this is the divine light of Imam alayhi salam, and that this is Imam showing his presence. And truly, Imam calls upon the butcher. He says, Fulan butcher, come up. The butcher goes. So now everybody readied themselves. Maybe Imam is calling us one by one to take our bay'ah. Butcher goes. Imam tells him, I want you to slaughter this first animal, this first sheep, in a way that the blood goes down the stairs and everybody is able to see. So he slaughters the sheep, and the blood of that sheep goes down the stairs. People are standing there waiting, really rejoicing, happy, wanting to go, fighting each other to go one by one to the top to give bay'ah to Imam. When all of a sudden they see blood coming down, they now stand back. Sayyid Mahdi, come upstairs. Imam shouts, Sayyid Mahdi goes up. Imam tells the butcher, now slaughter the second sheep and in the same way let the blood go down the stairs. So the second sheep is slaughtered, the blood goes down the stairs. Now when everybody saw that, hold on, everybody who's going up is not coming back down, but rather blood is coming down. So maybe this is a test that we cannot pass. And so one by one, making excuses, they all disappear. Now Imam said to say, 3, 4, 5, 10 minutes. Imam said, Sayyid Mahdi, you two have appeared for. Now I want you to go tell them all to come upstairs. When Sayyid Mahdi goes down and he sees that there is nobody left, he comes upstairs to Imam with tears in his eyes. Imam said to him, Sayyid Mahdi, these were the best of the best of the best out of thousands of people in your eyes. You want to place the life of your Imam into the hands of these people? He said to him, how can I come, O Imam? By Allah, and inshallah we will end with this. By Allah, this occultation of Imam alayhi salam is one of the greatest blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on you and I. Why? Because my Imam has not left Medina yet. 28th day of Rajab has not happened yet for us. He has already started his mission. But for me and you, right now, he has not made the call. Are you inviting me or are you not inviting me? He's giving me time. He's saying, Hassanain, you can do it. You can become, if you really wanted, Hur ibn Yazid. You can become Burayr. You can become Habib. They were not ma'soomeen. And inshallah we will pick up from this point tomorrow. But I will leave you with one thought, inshallah, for tonight. Inshallah, after we die in this world, and we go past barzakh, and after we go back past the stages of resurrection and the day of judgment, where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? Is anybody listening to me tonight? Where do we want to go? Jannah, inshallah, paradise. Is this not the same paradise that Habib is in? Is this not the same paradise that Hur is in? Is this not the same paradise that Burayr is in? That Joan is in? What have I and you done to go to that paradise? Is this not the same paradise that Fatima Zahra alayha salam is in? Is this not the same paradise that the best of Allah's creation, Rasulullah, is in? What have I done to attain that level of purity that I will go into the same paradise as them? Or is there a different paradise that me and you want to go to? And I will leave you with this thought. On this night, we remember that young Aliyun al-Akbar, Shabih Payambar, as the brother recited at the beginning. The one who resembled the most Rasulullah. One day, a Christian man brings belief in Islam. And he sees in his dream, how does he bring belief? He sees in his dream two holy personalities appear, Jesus and somebody else. And Jesus tells him, why have you not brought belief in my brother Muhammad? And he points at this other holy personality. And he sees the beautiful face of Rasulullah and he embraces Islam. But he has not told anyone that he has embraced Islam. He wants to go and meet Rasulullah in person. But when he comes to Medina, he finds out that Rasulullah had passed away. But there is a grandson of his, Imam al-Hussein, who is still alive. He comes to Imam al-Hussein and he tells him of his tale. He says, "Oh Imam, how unlucky we are that the presence of that beautiful face of Rasulullah is not amongst us anymore." Imam said to him, "Do you want to see Rasulullah? Want to see somebody like Rasulullah?" He says, "Oh Ali Akbar, come." Ali Akbar comes, he unveils his face. The man stands up saying, "Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah." He could not distinguish between that holy personality that he had seen in his dream and this young man in front of him. Imam says to him, "This is not Rasulullah, but this is my son Aliyun al-Akbar." He then says to him, "Oh brother of Islam, tell me, if Allah had given you a son like Ali, and one day while walking he falls on the ground and a thorn enters into his foot, what would you do?" He says, "Oh Mawla Hussein, by Allah, my life would depart my soul." He says to him, oh, Imam doesn't say anything, but maybe a tear came to Imam's eye, that Imam wanted to say that what would you do if you were to see the same Ali al-Akbar cut into pieces? When Ibrahim took Ismail to offer the sacrifice, history tells us that they both tied their eyes so that they cannot see the faces of each other, so that the sacrifice is done easily. Ibrahim places his sword or his knife on the neck of Ismail. Allah substitutes him for the lamb, but the mark of the knife remained on the neck of Ismail. History tells us that when Ismail went back home and Hajar saw the mark of the dagger on his neck, Hajar fell ill, and after 3 days she lost her life in the sorrow and in the pain of seeing the sign of a dagger on the neck of her young Ismail. I will say, "Oh Hajar, come with me to Karbala and ask the heart of Layla, how did that heart feel when the body of Ali al-Akbar was brought in front of her?" The day of Ashura began with the adhan of Ali al-Akbar, Allahu Akbar. The battle began one after another. The companions went and offered their sacrifice. When all the companions had gone, Ali al-Akbar comes to Mawla Hussein. He says, "Father Hussein, allow me to offer my sacrifice as the first one amongst the Banu Hashim." Historians tell us that no one came on the day of Ashura to Imam asking for his permission, and Imam gave him permission from the first go, except for his son Ali al-Akbar. Imam said to him, "Oh Ali, go." I will say, "Oh Imam, why?" Imam might say, "So that tomorrow nobody can say that Hussein ibn Ali held his son more dearer than the sons of his brothers and his uncles and his nephews." Imam Ali al-Akbar now comes. Imam prepares him. Ali al-Akbar bids farewell to the women folks of the family, to Lady Zainab. He ascends the horse and he gallops towards the enemies. History writes he kills 130. Then he is tired. He returns back to Imam al-Hussein and he says, "Father Hussein, how did you see the battle of young Ali Akbar?" Maybe Imam al-Hussein said to him, "You remind me of my father Ali." Ali al-Akbar says, Imam says to him, oh Ali, but why have you returned back? Ali al-Akbar said to Imam al-Hussein, he says, Father, al-'atash qad qatalani, wa thiqlu al-hadid qad arhaqani, hal li bi shurbatin min al-ma'. Oh Father Hussein, thirst is killing me, and the weight of my armor is tiring me. Oh Mawla Hussein, is there a droplet of water that you can give me so that I can regain some strength? Imam, with tears in his eyes, said, oh Ali, all your life you have never asked me for anything, and the day you ask me for something, I cannot give you. But oh Ali, look at my own mouth. When Ali Akbar looks at the mouth of Imam al-Hussein, he sees the dry lips and the dry tongue of Imam. He says, oh Father, your tongue is even drier than my tongue. Imam says to him, oh Ali, only moments from now, your grandfather Ali will quench your thirst with his cup from Kawthar. Oh Ali, go back. Ali al-Akbar comes and bids the final farewell to the women folks of the family. But only this time, when he gallops his horse going towards the enemies, he could hear somebody following him shouting faintly, oh Ali, oh Ali. When he turns his head back, he sees his old father Hussein walking, running slightly and then falling on the ground with tears in his eyes, calling him, oh Ali, wait. When Ali al-Akbar returns back, he says, Father Hussein, have we not just bid farewell to each other? Imam says, oh Ali al-Akbar, by Allah, if only Allah had given you a son like you, you would know what it means to be bidding farewell to a son like you. Let me see you for the final time. Let me embrace you for the final time. Imam raised his hands in dua. He says, Allahumma ashhad ala ha'ula'i al-qawm. Oh Allah, you be my witness on these people that I am sending them the one who most resembles your Prophet Rasulullah, but they are not paying heed. Ali al-Akbar now goes into the battlefield, reciting his words, Ana Ali ibn al-Husayn ibn Ali. I am Ali, the son of Hussein, the son of Ali ibn Abi Talib. ونحن وبيت الله أولى بالنبي. We are in the house of Allah, are the closest of kin to Rasulullah. أضربكم ضرب غلام هاشمي علوي تالله لا يحكم فينا ابن الدعي. I fight you the fight of a lion, ferocious warrior like Ali ibn Abi Talib. By Allah, the one like Yazid can never rule upon us. Now he kills, according to some traditions, 70, and to some traditions 200. And finally Umar ibn Sa'd comes out and he says, attack him from everywhere. They begin an attack of one man. They throw everything at Ali al-Akbar. When they come close, one mal'oon grabs his spear and he pierces the chest of Ali al-Akbar. As Ali al-Akbar jerks forward or backwards, one mal'oon hits him on the forehead with his sword. Ali al-Akbar falls on the head of his horse. The blood gushing from his head enters into the eyes of his horse. Now the horse takes him deep into the territory of the enemies. It's only a few people in Karbala we find. The traditions tell us that they were cut into pieces. Ali al-Akbar, when he now enters into the middle of the camp of the enemies, history writes, فَقَطَّعُوهُ إِرَبًا إِرَبًا. They cut him into small pieces. As Ali al-Akbar begins falling from his horse, he calls his father Hussein. Imam al-Hussein rushes towards him. When the dust cloud had settled, Imam comes to Ali and he says, Ya Ali, Ya Ayatullah Majlis, he says, here Imam with tears in his eyes had become blinded and he was shouting, oh Ali, oh Ali, oh Ali, where are you? My heart wants to say, oh Imam, are you calling your father Ali or your son Ali? Imam comes and sits near the body of Ali al-Akbar. He wipes his tears off. He takes the head of Ali al-Akbar. He places his cheek on the cheek of Ali al-Akbar. When Ali al-Akbar feels the warmth of his father, he opens his eyes. He smiles. Then he begins crying. Imam said to him, oh Ali, why did you smile? my grandfather Rasulullah. I can see my grandfather Ali, my uncle Hassan. But oh Father Hussein, I cried because I can also see my grandmother Fatima al-Zahra wailing and crying for you. Imam embraced Ali al-Akbar, but he felt there was something paining Ali. When he looked, he saw there was a spear that had pierced the chest of Ali al-Akbar. Imam said, oh Ali, do you want me to relieve you of this pain? He said, oh Father, please. Imam al-Hussein places one hand on the chest of Ali al-Akbar and the other hand on the spear, and he recites Bismillah wa billah wa fi sabilillah wa ala millati Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. I want to say, oh Ibrahim, you blindfolded yourself so that you could not see the sacrifice of Ismail. Oh Amir al-Mu'mineen, lifting the door of Khaybar was easy, but come and see Hussein. Imam pulls the spear out of the chest of Ali al-Akbar. The blood gushes out and Ali departs this world. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين سيعلم الذين ظلموا آل محمد أي منقلب ينقلبون. Oh Allah, for the sake of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad, oh Allah, for the sake of these tears that flow from our eyes, oh Allah, we ask you to forgive our sins, to forgive the sins of our parents. Oh Allah, we ask you to forgive and to increase in the station of all those shuhada who have lost their lives in the way of ziyarat of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. Oh Allah, we ask you to protect the Muslims all around the world. Oh Allah, we ask you to hasten the reappearance of the Imam of our time, Imam Mahdi, Sahib al-Asri wal-Zaman.